Now we have a third paper. Our third paper will be about investigating the impact of L1 on learning, L2 at elementary level. This paper will be presented by Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhati, a lecturer in the Faculty of Islamia University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan. Dear doctor, you have 15 minutes, please, to introduce us, your paper, and we will take 5 minutes for questions afterwards. Doctor, are you here? Dr. Muhammad Safdar, are you here, please? Can you raise your hand? Okay, he is here, Dr. Mr. Muhammad.
المايك.
Yeah. Please, Mr. Muhammad, can you help in this?
No.
We welcome our guests and our non-Arab guests as well. So, yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, we are hearing you. Go on, doctor.
بس وين انت بدي وين اروح؟ والله لو غير بيت اروح وين اروح؟ وين اروح؟ انت تعرفين اليوم عندي الشغل وين؟
Sir, anyone is opening his mic. If you please, can you mute Mr. Ali?
ممكن بعرف ايش ما بعرف.
Okay, go on, Dr. Muhammad. Sorry for this.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. First of all, I would like to thank the conference team to give me this chance to present my work over here. The topic of my presentation is investigating the impact of L1 on learning L2 at elementary level, and that is a brief sketch of my presentation. Respected audience, I would like to start my work by the poetry of clause. My mother tongue so sweet, the sound. How dear you are to me. Were my heart made of stone or steel, to speak it proud I would be. How we feel better using or how we expect ourselves well in mother tongue or in terms of language teaching in first language, which has always been a discussion in language teaching. A.G. Jimson, a well-known educationist, once said, if we want to get the mastery over any language, we should have the 100% mastery over accent, 90% over grammar, and 10% over vocabulary. And these are the aspects of a language. The role of mother tongue in English language classes has recently been the focus of an ongoing debate in research. The monolingual approach suggests that the use of target language solely in L2 classroom increases the learning of the target language. The advocate that L1 has essential role in English language classroom, and they might deprive students of valuable input in the L2 hinders the progress. In contrast, the proponents of using L1 in L2 class believe that its use helps students learn L2 more effectively. The significance of my study was the knowledge of second language learning cannot be isolated thoroughly. It will open up new panoramas of knowledge possibilities in regard of the use of L1 in English language teaching. It will also provide a comprehensive understanding of affecting the L2 learning. It will be helpful for the teachers, learners, and the course designers as well. The objectives of my study were to analyze the impact of L1 in ELT classroom by using L1 limited and judicious way, to investigate the assumption that limited use of L1 does not reduce the student's communicative ability, but it can assist the teaching learning process, to identify the role of L1 in learning L2 in English language classroom, to assess whether there exists a relationship between teachers' attitude and perceptions, about effective use of the classroom to investigate the difficulties and challenges faced by the teachers in adopting L2 in the class. My research questions were: do the teachers in Pakistan use L1 in English language classrooms at elementary level? If they use, how frequently they use? What are the purposes of using it in English language classroom? What do the students think of the learners to use L1 in the classrooms? What are the teachers' perceptions about using L1 in English language teaching? What are the difficulties and challenges faced by the teachers adopting L2 in the classroom? Now I would like to move towards the literature review. Goethe once said, "The person who knows only one language doesn't truly know that language." Richard Amatos opines, attitude towards self, the teaching language, and the people who speak it. The teacher and the classroom environment seem to have an influence on acquisition. Prohibiting the native language will, within the context of ESL instruction, may impair language acquisition precisely because it mirrors disempowerment relations. There are 5 cognitive processes of language learning: language transfer, transfer of training, strategies of second language learning, strategies of second language communication, and overgeneralization of target language linguistic material. 150 students and 20 teachers from Bahawalpur region, Pakistan participated in this study. If we talk about the research methodology, it was descriptive in nature, research approach was quantitative, and random sampling was done. Questionnaire for the teachers and questionnaire for the students were used as a tool to collect the data from the respondents. That is basically I prepared a questionnaire for the teachers about their perceptions for using L1 in the classroom, and these are the statements, and that is their views, and that is the graphic description of those views, and the difficulties and the challenges in adopting L1 in the classroom. These were some statements, and that is the percentage of their views, and that is the descriptive analysis of their questionnaire. Now I would like to move towards the findings. The researcher found that the teacher's attitude towards using L1 in teaching L2 were positively. Lack of interest in L2 encouraged learners to use L1. Teachers also reported that to get the students come back to the classroom, they switched to L1. The teachers felt the necessity to use L1 when the students seemed to lose self-confidence. They felt the need to depend on L1 in teaching the abstract vocabulary. Overcrowded classes focused teachers to use L1 to instruct and control the learners. The course material allows the teacher either to use L1 or L2. Overall, the results supported the hypothesis that the use of L1 in English language classes doesn't lessen the learner's quality, capability, and capacity to communicate well in second language. Rather, it assists, aids, and facilitates the teaching learning process. Now, I would like to move towards the conclusion. Mandela's famous quote is that if you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. If you talk to him in his language, that goes to his heart. The richness of learners' L1 knowledge experience is unquestionably an accessible source of second language learning. Teaching a learner without his native language only disregards his identity and culture, but also hampers him into newborn baby with an adult mind. These are some suggestions and recommendations. Bilingual children may develop more flexibility in their thinking. as a result of processing information through two different languages. The impact and importance of L1 in learning L2 enhances significance of the study. L2 affects the personality and the attitudes towards students' language learning. The students should be encouraged to share their thoughts in target language. Teachers should use and adopt new and innovative learning strategies in their classes. The use of L1 may be beneficial in the EFL classes, especially for the students who have difficulty in understanding. It may represent a resource that both students and the teacher share in common. These were some references from which I got the help. And thanks a lot for lending me your ears. And any question, please?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Anyone have a question? Ms. Ilham Shami, you can ask, please.
Yes, thank you so much for this so great research.
You are welcome.
And, since I'm a teacher of English, and I'm an Arab teacher, I'd like to ask, since it's allowed or it's okay to use the first language in teaching the target language or while teaching the target language, to what extent can we use the first language? Sometimes we feel that the whole class goes with the first language, that we're teaching the second. So to what extent is it okay for us to use it? And thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your very nice question. Actually, in Pakistan, we are going to teach English language as a second language. So when we are going to teach them the language, I think first language or the mother tongue must be used in the class to some extent, as an helping or as the supporting aid. The teacher, if the teacher is going to teach them some abstract vocabulary or some new items, then he should try to use the L1. In this way, the students may build up their confidence and they can understand the language very easily. Thank you very much.